Today's weather forecast, rain coming at you in about 20 minutes. Look at these skies. They're beautiful, beautiful overcast, just like every other day this year. 2018, the harvest year from hell, is coming at you with more rain. Well, what did you expect? Frozen weather so you could work? Come on, let's get real here. It's 2018 where it rains every other fucking day. Wow! So the driveway looks like the craters of the moon that are filled with water. Boom! Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. I have my tripod here in the shop, and yeah, if you can hear or listen carefully, you can hear the rain on the roof. Isn't that an amazing thing? It hasn't rained in at least 2 days. No, it didn't rain yesterday, but it rained the day before, causing, all kinds of crazy water situations, right, Mr. Tim? All right, so I'm centering my camera over top of this new beautiful Krone Big Pack Baler, right? And I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Right, Tim? What are you doing? Oh, okay, cool. You just dropped your little tube. Anyway, so here I stand before my Messick's bought Krone Big Pack 1290 HDP high speed. I looked at other balers again before I decided to settle on the Krone, and there's probably a dozen reasons why I decided to stick with the Krone baler. Krone balers are, I'm not going to lie, they're expensive to purchase. Very expensive to purchase. This baler, if you were to order it today brand new, it would be well over $200,000. I don't know what the incentives are right now, but the number that got thrown at me was like, oh, you want a brand new baler like this right off out of the box? It's going to be $215,000 to $230,000, depending on what your option list is. So really, the only options that I have on this baler is the scale. I don't think of course, there's a fire extinguisher and the hydraulic jack. The hydraulic jack is a must if you're buying a new baler. I never realized how spoiled I could get until I owned a Krone Big Pack. So, yeah. Anyway, I looked at the Massey Ferguson, Heston Massey Ferguson, Agco Heston Massey Ferguson, whatever you want to call it. And everybody loves them, and really the deciding factor to stay away from that particular machine was the fact that I ran parallel to a XD 1290 or 1290 or 1290, I think, XD 1290. I believe that was the number. It was the 3x4. That baler was a year newer than what this one is, possibly 2 years newer than this one. I know it's newer. And they were in lighter hay and going about 1/3 the speed that I was going, and I was just hammering bales. They were trying to keep up, choking it, stopping, backing up. I knew that the hay that I was baling was dry. I don't know what the moisture condition on their hay was, even though they tedded their hay out and raked it as well as I did. So looking at the Heston Massey Ferguson baler, my thoughts on that baler is that they keep cheapening it, which is kind of sad, because when Heston was Heston back, I think they got bought out in 2002. When Heston was Heston, they built a baler. They built a baler that baled. I mean, it was a heavy baler, a simple design that worked. Massey Ferguson balers are still a simple design, but their engineers have gotten into it, and it's like, well, we can lighten this piece up and we can lighten that piece up, and they'll all wear together, and when we hit 100,000 bales, the baler's completely worn out, and that's the end of it. So that was pretty much it for me and Massey Ferguson. Looked at the John Deere. I called John Deere. Looked at the John Deere 340 L341 series baler. Like the baler, I demonstrated an L340. Again, it's a light baler. Worked smoother than I thought it would at the time that I demonstrated. The 341, I priced it $209,000. That was the price that I got, and as you know, there is no negotiation with John Deere. So $209,000, that was the last I heard of John Deere. Not that I didn't want to talk more about the John Deere, but they just didn't seem too interested in coming together on a price. So in passing, because I knew at that point New Holland is out the door, Challenger is a Massey Ferguson, Kuhn is John Deere, Kuhn Deere is what I call them, and Kloss, not enough dealership support here yet to justify a Kloss baler. So I know M&M Weaver out here in Lancaster has them, but I don't know. I think the Kloss and the John Deere Kuhn or Kuhn Deere are very similar in design. If I'm not mistaken, I think there for a while they were a shared design, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I think the basic design of the baler between the Kuhn, the Deere, and the Kloss are basically the same baler, but Kloss has a different feeding system than the Kuhn, and Deere had the double knot system where Kuhn was still relying on a single knot. And then the following year, I guess Kuhn decided, well, maybe we'll have both double and single knot options. So there's still a bit of a mystery to me whether I would even trust myself to buy it. So that leaves me with the Krone Big Pack, which I really do like my Krone Big Pack, my original one. I get up in the morning, I go, and I hook up to it, grease it up, put twine into it, blow it off, and boom, I'm on my merry way, which is really good. I don't have a problem with that. Because, to be honest with you, and I was joking with my father here the other day, I said, you know, what's really funny is I've got a service manual and I've got a parts manual, and I've only ever opened the parts manual to my other baler once. And I'm not joking, once. And that was when I ran into the tree stump with the front end and busted the front end out from under it. So when you only open a parts manual once to figure out what part numbers you need for your baler in 2 seasons, that was season 2, that's pretty good. Now there were broken parts, and in that Krone actually offers a parts kit for these balers. It's $1,500 and it comes with the most commonly replaced parts on your baler. They're basically will get you in the keep you in the field longer, and when you break one of those pieces, you write down the number, or I take a photo of it, call Messick's up, and boom, within a couple of days I've got the part. So this baler I didn't get that parts kit with, so I'm going to have to make a phone call out to Messick's because I forgot to say, hey guys, I'd really like to have this parts kit. So I'm going to do that so that I have 2 parts kits, one for this baler and one for the other baler, which will be good. I know in the first year I broke a sensor in the pickup, and I broke, what the hell was it? I believe I broke a Tucker finger arm. And I've broken a couple of those, and Gerald claims he's never seen one of those break before, but I've broken a couple of them. So, but again, that's no big deal. Oh, and pickup times break all the time. So when you're breaking pickup times, and then in the fall I send the baler back and they upgrade the baler to run for the next year. It costs a few $1,000s, but you get a fresh baler every spring, and I recommend that to anyone. So the real reason that I stuck with the Krone is because they work. They're easy to maintain. They are a little more expensive to purchase and to maintain, but they go longer. I can bale a typical day for me, an average day of baling hay in my little small fields of average about 8 to 10 acres, 350 bales a day. And I'm not even breaking a sweat. I mean, that's from the time I can start baling till the dew sets on in the evening. That's what this baler does. The other thing is the bale chamber on these, it's actually from the knife to the end of the bale chamber is 13 feet. 13 feet. The John Deere is 10. The Heston Massey Ferguson is 10. The New Holland might be 10 now, but it was only 8 when I purchased, when I got rid of the last New Holland baler. So all the parts on this baler will fit on my other baler. All the parts from my other baler will fit on this baler. It is essentially the same baler with a few sensor upgrades and more sensors and a different computer, but all the mechanical parts are identical. So yeah, so here it is. This is actually a 2017 model that was left over. They cut me a hell of a deal on this baler because it was left over. It was actually $11,000 less than I paid for the other one. And if I get that kit, it was $11,000 and change. So if I get that kit for this baler, it'll be about a $10,000 less than I paid for the first one, and you all know what I paid for that one. So I think you do anyway. But anyways, but here it is. So this baler hasn't had a bale of nothing through it, so there's no rotten bales in it. You know, and that's a joke. I'm sorry, Essex, I just had to do that. They gave me 12 balls of twine in the baler, full balls, not, you know, most of the, and I'll prove it. 6 on each side. Right there they are. New Holland, never put a ball of twine in it. The last Krone baler I had, there was no twine in it. It was just they cut the string and there it was. But they were kind enough to give me 12 balls of twine. And that's no joke, they're $32 a piece. This does have the light package on it, where is there options with other machines? There's lights everywhere. There's lights on the tongue, there's lights at the top, there's lights on the knotters. So when you're working at night and you need to go back and do, or, you know, retie if you have a knotter issue, you just flip up that lid, or you hit the light switch on the computer, hit that light switch on the computer, ding, the lights come on, you go back, you do your job. New Holland had this really wonky corded light, which was great at the time, but outdated. These are all LED strips. And now I have to go pick up William because Teresa has to go to the doctor. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really want people to understand that when you do spend the extra money on a piece of equipment like this, you get what you pay for, you know, and I can say that about anything. There's no two words that never go together: good and cheap. Good and cheap don't go together. Quality costs you money. If you pay a little extra, you're going to be more than thrilled with the result of that. So there are upgrades on this thing, which I will show you in a later video. But anyway, before it gets dirty, anyways, with that, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.